Hey guys, Farrell here. Just a quick explanation. These little aftermath episodes, as I'm calling them, what I wanted to do was kind of show you a little bit of what I'm up to between streams. So this is going to cover a lot of stuff. It's not going to involve me going into missions, but just kind of little stuff like maintenance and whatnot around the mech bay and kind of taking care of repairs, making sure my finances are in good shape, and exploring little other bits of the game as I go through it. So that's what this is. I also wanted to kind of apologize for the state of episode 1 because it was a 4-hour stream and it seems like YouTube has decided to cap the playback starting 2 hours in, which is really annoying because I know other folks are able to do 4-hour streams, but apparently I'm not, for whatever strange reason YouTube has come up with for that. So unfortunately, what I'm probably going to have to wind up doing is kind of capping the future streams at 2 hours just to ensure that you guys see everything. I would upload episode 1 in its entirety because I do have it recorded on my computer, but the problem is that YouTube has also decided to start copyright claiming the content in the background, that is the game's music. So unfortunately, I'm dealing with the fallout from that. I mean, fortunately, I don't do ad revenue, so as far as YouTube's concerned, they don't really care. They're just throwing up an ad on it. But I'm sure with the demonetization issues that are going on YouTube, nobody really probably thinks that they're getting money out of that to begin with. So really have to wonder what the heck is going on there. But either way, apparently there's at least 4 songs that played during the stream, at least during the part of the stream that was published, that YouTube has outright claimed are copyright violations. So downside there is next time I do a stream, we're not going to have the in-game music. And that's kind of sad because the music in-game is pretty darn good. So anyways, enough explanation. Let's get you back to show you a couple minutes of what I did after the stream for cleanup. Okay, so back from the end of the stream, I just wanted to kind of tack this on as a little bit of an extra thing. I want to run through and do a little bit of selling now that I have opportunity to, just to build up my funds a little bit more. I don't really need a ton of a lot of the stuff that I've been getting, so we can kind of sell off bits and pieces of it. Just because there's no need to hang on to 3, that'd be like 600 rounds of machine gun ammo. Really need much more than 6 for ammo supplies, I think. I can't sell off any of the mechs until I've actually built the mech, which is kind of annoying in that aspect. The store that's out here doesn't really have anything that's going to interest me, and it's really kind of outside of my, my funds. I also wanted to actually take a moment and take a look at Satori here. So I did say I was going to we were kind of curious about where the origin of that name was. And, well, it doesn't look like they've actually given much of a background to this, oddly enough. I mean, there are... I know this is a Canopian, you know, from the Registry of Canopus. Yeah, there's very little actually kind of here. I would rather be reading a book, skilled with repair and maintenance. So, yeah, Magistrate of Canopus, Periphery, spent their childhood. So you got a little bit of the equivalent of their life path, I suppose, but not much else, which is kind of surprising.
Standing by.
I mean, Medusa's got a full record, and I don't think... No, Medusa was around from the beginning. Blah, 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 blah. Talk to me in my cockpit. Thugboat, what does my service record look like? Okay, yeah, basically the actual background for my character, so that's in here. Steiner ancestry, noble family, exiled, mercenary.
What's up, boss?
Let's see. Sign of house. Well, that's why he's constantly getting his ass kicked, because from the Capellan Confederation. Another tour, any battle walk from became a mercenary. Oh, so he left house layout service. Wow.
Standing by.
Behemoth was Iron Commonwealth. Okay, so yep, basically, Behemoth and I would have some things in common to some extent. Miranda went undefeated in her crew's drinking games and the brawling that usually followed. Interesting. When they turned over a new leaf, she was out and looking for a tougher crew. So she went pirate, and then when they decided to give it up, she wanted out. So I have an active pirate on my list here. Interesting.
What can I do for you?
Okay, so I figured I'd kind of go over that. Other thing is also... Oh, that's cute. Let's deal with the heraldry. I'm okay with that for... I mean, it's... Actually, you know what? That is... The reason I have that is that, I believe, is actually from the... I'm trying to think of it. I love how we've got the mini painting scene here. This is very familiar to me, including the massive scale differences between the mechs. Now that... okay, that's an awesome. Yep. Alright. Let's look at... Since I can do this off camera, I can take a little extra time on this. And... yeah, because I'm a backer, I'm supposed to have access to, and I've signed up for the Atlas skin. You know, the Atlas and the Marauder skins. But it doesn't seem to be like they're hard to tell they're actually here, and this is kind of annoying. I mean, like any other sort of painting system, I could rotate what I'm looking at. And I actually can't on this one for some silly reason. Let's see, what if we mix up... See, I kind of like the gloss paint, but at the same time... Ooh, I know what I should do. This is a paint scheme I used on one of the first sets of clan minis that I did. And it's not actually any sort of in-character or in-game paint scheme. But it should look pretty similar. Maybe a bit more than the accent color here. Yeah, I like that, and... oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. That's good. And it's still going to be Thugboat's, let's be honest. I had to rename the unit that. There's no way I'm going to get it otherwise. Faction reputations, let's kind of take a look at where we're at here. Mercenary review board, yay! I'm rated. Huzzah. Indifferent to pretty much everyone except the Magistracy of Canopus, which I'm up to 9 now, so that's probably why I started getting all sorts of different contracts out there. Financial review, just to give you an idea of what it looks like for the Merc. Not too bad. I don't want to hire any more crew at this point, or if I had to pull up an extra mech, I'd want to have it as a standby, but we're not doing too bad. I'm now up to 3 months of operational costs that I can cover. And let's see, what else we got? I haven't seen what you actually do when you go to talk to these people specifically. Eventually everything falls apart. This is a cheerful guy. So he fought for the Capellans, the Third Succession War. Oh boy. Yeah. 3025 of the Third Succession War to effectively end. Yeah, it's only because the fourth kicks off in 3026. Oh boy. Bang of Fire. May have heard the Crowley Lizard. See, this is the kind of lore that they can pull on. Or I think in this case, they've probably come up with this one. I can't recall that being in any of the novels, at least. Yep, and Stefan Amaris. Okay, so there's your history on the gentleman who destroyed the Star League, basically. Or kind of destroyed most of it. The Star League destroyed the rest of itself, frankly. So that's interesting. His remains were donated to the medical school of the University of New Samarkand. Well, he did have a son, a illegitimate son, and there's a very, 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 very bad, cheesy BattleTech novel called Star-Lord about that, and oh boy. Norm inhibitors, Star League, so there's going to be your history about the Star League itself, Golden Age of Mankind. Mars took the system in a Civil War. He says troops use them for target practice. Wow. Ouch. Tough stuff, man. The interesting thing is he's got a prosthetic there, and the MechWarrior 3 RPG system has a whole slew of stuff that you can do with those, and the rules and everything. First interview that believes bullshit. This saturates compelling culture. Outrewards high-born idiots at the common people's expense. Yep. You'll never really get away from the aristocracy, Yang. Hell, I was born a noble. Oh, boy. Okay, I don't know if you actually get anything for having conversations like this. Oh, St. Ives Lancers, okay. That's a bit better. The arm is souvenir of time of service lots in 3010 on St. Loris. Ooh, St. Lo. Walked out of hell on Kittery. Yeah, that's one of the few remaining. Shoot, what am I thinking of? No, I'm not thinking of Kittery. That different thing entirely. Never mind. Fed Rats, aka Federated Sons. Ouch. Though, to be honest, at that point, House Davian 3010 would have been under Ian Davian, not Hans Davian. So that does change around things a bit. Rumble seat. The funny thing is, this is in reference to the Blood of Kerensky novel series, where one of the characters has a very unwilling passenger stuck along with him in a Centurion during combat, and yeah, that's so they'll reference lore and they'll do it in a roundabout way, which is pretty nice. Okay, I don't really need to know more about the mech bay because I've kind of figured that out. Navigation, I'm not too worried about. Command center contracts. What do we got open? I can travel to Bellerophon to meet your new contact. A lot of salvage from this sucker. And there's this one, which is Seek and Destroy, but I need the funds more than I need the salvage right now. So I'm probably better off going after this mission and then going for the ammunition convoy if it's still around afterwards. So what we're going to do is actually head off over here. I figure I can pick up these missions on the back end of things. I'm not really worried about salvage. I'll take whatever you'll give me. Just give me more money instead. And yep, that'll take us to Detroit.
Course plotted.
So the whole thing with this mission system, the campaigns, is you have to balance out the idea of accepting contract after contract after contract, but having to give yourself the time to repair the mechs, which you've only got one person doing it, and you keep your crew healthy, basically. versus running yourself, completely out of business because of your expenses. So it's definitely an interesting tweak in that that standpoint. Like Mech Commander 1, you were basically on a planet. You were on Port Arthur with the Davian guards, and with Mech Commander 2, you're still on a single planet. You're on Carver 5, aka Liberty. Whereas here, you're now set up with this sort of time between the missions, so it's something you feel that's been borrowed a little bit from XCOM, but not by much. We're gonna go ahead and say not yet because I want to definitely see if I can get Glitch back in the fold here.
Ready to go over financials whenever you are.
Yep, it's not gonna be good for next month, but I don't want to mess about with my morale settings here. So we'll get Glitch back online. And that's where I'm going to go ahead and end it because I'm going to want to pick this up with the next stream. So, thanks guys for watching. Figured I'll do these little interstitial moments off camera. Well, not off camera, the little off stream moments off camera. That way I can kind of handle them separately and still keep you guys up to speed as what I'm doing in between everything that's going on. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.